listeners and readers of AwardsWatch.com. This is the Awards Watch Podcast, episode 154. We've done a lot of these. I am your executive editor, Ryan McQuade, joined today by Erik Anderson.
Hello, hello, hello.
Editor-in-chief. Nicole Ackman.
Hello, everyone.
Josh Parham.
Hello, hello.
And Dan Bayer.
Hey, what's up?
We've got a busy schedule. We were off last week because
that was my fault.
Yeah, it's Eric's fault why we weren't here last week. But we got a jam-packed episode. A lot of questions this week. This is probably the most questions we've had for the podcast in a long, long time. So we'll have listener questions. I have a game for everyone. Excited. Excited.
We always get excited when you announce a game. Yes.
I always love your games.
Yeah,
I'm always a little scared. Excited.
I get excited for it the way like they do in Saw.
Yeah.
Want to play a game? Yeah. I think it'll be fun. So we're gonna talk. Main subject today is going to be talking about Best Actor and Best Actress conversations. I think that's going to be a fun conversation. Who doesn't love to talk about those? There's a lot of developments. A lot of people here have seen a lot of movies, and especially the Best Actress race, which is the most competitive race every year, I guess we could say, but especially this year, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath.
Usually the most interesting race.
Yes, especially the last 2 years, right, Josh? I mean, it's been pretty good.
The past few years, really.
Yeah. But before we do any of that, we are here to announce something on this podcast, and we're going to talk a little bit about it too. Is that the first podcast that we did all together a couple months ago, we did the Awards Watch Summer Movie Draft, and we divided everybody up in teams. There was 4 on each side. We each got 5 picks and a bomb pick. Can't forget the bomb pick. Those bomb picks, by the way, really didn't work out as bad as we thought they would, but they still hurt a little bit. And
a lot of things didn't work out like we thought they were gonna.
I think they did for some people.
They did not. Don't lie.
Worked out exactly the way we thought they would.
They did not, and you were the first person to admit that, Ryan.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're live on air. You don't got any of that proof. Yeah, and so
I have the screenshots, sir.
Go back 6 months ago. It feels like now to those screenshots. No, it was a really interesting summer. It was filled with a lot of hits. At least of the films that we selected, pretty much everything was a hit in its own right. I mean, nothing that we picked besides the bomb pick didn't lose money.
One of ours was pretty deflated,
but it didn't lose money in terms of the game and the style, which it wasn't a huge.
I mean, in terms of the game,
in terms of the game, in terms of like what Disney would like, no, not so much. You know what I mean?
Our stakes are no stakes here.
So just to reiterate what we all picked, my team, which was Nicole, and it was Josh and Tyler and myself, and then everybody else was over with Erik. And that's
wow, you really did the and the rest for everybody else on the team.
I'm kidding. It was Sophia, Kevin, like Dan, and Erik. And my team picked Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder, Top Gun: Maverick, Nope, and Downton Abbey 2. And then Erik's team picked Minions: The Rise of Gru, The Black Phone, Lightyear, Jurassic World Dominion, and Elvis. And the bomb picks, we initially gave them The Man from Toronto, but that went to Netflix, so we had to give them the Bob's Burger movies. And in return, we got Where the Crawdads Sing. So really,
thank you.
really wonderful.
Yeah, thanks for that one.
Yeah.
And I remember Tyler and I saying at the time, we were like, this is great. Southern moms are going to eat this up. And they did.
A lot of things.
I don't know. That movie made most of its money internationally, not domestically.
But it all counts as money. So
yeah.
Yes.
But every Southern,
were it not for international, we wouldn't have had $2 billion picks. So
in terms of points, it was actually one of the bigger negatives on the board. Critically speaking, it did terrible. So it wasn't the worst film on here, because that was obviously critically Jurassic World Dominion, which I helped, I guess, with that, but it was just a bad movie.
Which we knew that was going to be critically savage, but we knew also that it was going to make way more.
Yeah. So the top of the box office was, of course, Top Gun Maverick, which in the game made my team, our team, Josh and Nicole, 1,306 points just off the box office alone. The second biggest actually came from you guys, which was Jurassic Park Dominion. That made actually, it was the third Jurassic Park Dominion, because that made 826. But you also had Minions, which made 844.
We love those little yellow men.
But then Doctor Strange made points wise 755. And then there was a massive dip for the next one, which was Thor at 510. People just did not want to see that movie. And it was really Doctor Strange really just kind of rode the way from Spider-Man. And it was also the first movie of the summer.
It was the first.
Kind of no-brainer there. But we did all the tallies up, and based off of the rules that I wrote, and that were very fair, and that everybody approved.
That was a very Hamilton moment. It was very, which I wrote.
Which I wrote. The tallies were Team 1, my team, 2,860 points. And Erik's team, 2,039 points. So it wasn't actually as bad.
It's not as bad as I thought it was.
As we all kind of thought it was when Top Gun Maverick made $1 billion. We were like, okay, this is over. It's an onslaught. But I think it was really like the Black Phone, Elvis doing really well. Minions and Jurassic World, obviously.
Well, also the thing with Minions is I knew that was going to make a ton of money. I did not expect it to be well reviewed. I think that was the thing. Also was a big help too.
It was a shock when I saw it that I was writing a good review of it.
Yeah,
that's what
really helped with Minions.
Why is this good?
But then, Thor actually lost a point in the critics tally up. And where the Crawdads things like 50 or 44 points critically, Jurassic World minus 52. Bob's Burgers was technically a box office bomb. It lost 8 points due to it not making its money back.
Yeah,
but that was it. They were not bomb picks. They were not. But yeah, I will admit, and this is very true. And I was talking with Sophia offline, who couldn't be here tonight, but none of us on our team predicted. And none of us could have predicted what Top Gun Maverick has done this year. It was
like your fourth or fifth pick, right? Like
it was our third pick, I think. And then Nope was last, I think. Either way, it was either third or fourth, because our fifth
was not at top of mind for us. Yeah. No,
our last pick was down. We weren't gonna. Yeah, I remember that. But I think it was because we picked the two Marvel films up at the top because we couldn't believe they were on the board that you guys left those there. But I mean,
we had an
average down,
and
it worked out. It almost worked out. If people,
Lightyear had been like a Toy Story, we'd have a different story, but it wasn't, and that is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. When we got through with that game, my first thought was, well, they won. I honestly thought so. That you had Lightyear, you had Minions, and you had Jurassic World. I thought that was it, truly.
But then, so did we. But then Tim Allen said no. You know what I mean? So just saying, that whole controversy around that movie, which was dumb, and that's not the problem with the film. It was
it's just not a good movie.
Agree to disagree, but I think that this was a lot of fun, and we did have a lot of fun. And unfortunately, Erik, that means your team has to watch a movie that we select. And I think we have selected that, if I'm not mistaken.
You better announce it now.
I think so. Yeah.
And so Josh actually was the one to suggest the film.
Oh,
which is why I'm really excited to find out what it is, honestly.
And so I would like to give the mic over to Josh Parham, who will be delivering this news to Erik and his teammates. Josh?
Yeah. So we wanted to think about something that obviously has to be a punishment. It has to be.
It
Sorry.
has to be. Yeah.
But it's also difficult to try to think of something that not everybody has already seen. And that got us thinking. I did come to something that I think is going to fulfill this punishment very, very well. And I am just going to say that there are 6 words that I would use to describe this movie. Written and directed by Viggo Mortensen. The movie that we decided to pick was Viggo Mortensen's directorial debut, the masterpiece that is Falling. A movie that I know, Dan, you have miraculously not seen up until this point.
I have seen the first 15 minutes of it and turned it off because it was so offensively horrible.
Well, get ready to enjoy the rest.
Thanks, Josh.
We will be reviewing that within the next 2 weeks on the show. As we said that the losing team has to come on in full, and I will moderate that discussion. That does not mean I will watch the film.
Suddenly, my calendar has just really gotten very full.
I don't
for
think
the
so.
next 3 weeks.
I don't know. Well, then we'll wait for.
I know I had a screener for this. I think there's a review for it on AwardsWatch from Sundance
from like last year. Right? Was it last year or 2020?
2020.
I think it was 2020 Sundance.
Yeah.
That it was there.
Yeah, 2020.
So I'm curious now.
It is an
You haven't
unusually
seen it.
bad movie.
It's
Right,
not.
it
really
It's
is.
not as bad as I thought this was going to be because I might actually enjoy the train wreck that it
You think that, and then it's not even enjoyable.
Yeah, I know that. I don't believe Sophia or Kevin have seen it.
I highly doubt it.
I highly doubt it, but we'll have them plus Dan and Erik obviously on the show in the future, and we'll talk about it. But that does not mean
I can't wait
that
to watch it tonight.
this reign of terror by my team will continue, because we will be having a new draft within I think in like 2 weeks or something like that is when we're going to have it, and it will be same teams, and we will be drafting films just basically from November and December, and it will be the fall movie season draft, and we'll have some rules obviously for that, because there are delays and certain stuff. We're trying to figure out how that's going to work, because it feels like there's really only one blockbuster, and that seems like a very unfair advantage. But
two.
is there two? What's the other one?
There's two.
So each team is going to get a big blockbuster. It's
Yeah.
just going to be a matter of the losing which gets to go first.
Yeah.
Of which one we pick.
Wait, the losing team goes first?
Yes.
Yes, in the rules that you came up with that were so fair and
remember those? Let's go. Let's roll
and
the tape
agreed on
back.
by everybody.
Here's the thing. I just looked at the Word document earlier. It does not have that on there. So we'll talk about that.
Shots live forever, Ryan.
Just took it off. No, I'm just kidding. No, in all seriousness, in fairness, you guys will have first pick because you do have to watch that movie. But that will be for in a couple of weeks. We'll have a lot of fun with that. It'll be really, 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 really fun times again. And I hear they're going to re-release Top Gun Maverick, so we might be able to pick it again. That's what I've heard. So totally kidding. All right. We're going to transition away from this. We're going to go into the meat and potatoes here, which is best actress, best actor. We'll start with actor because we got a lot of questions about that this week. And I felt like that's where kind of these conversations needed to go. The best actor conversation this year. I mean, I know that Erik and Nicole, I believe also, and Dan have seen The Whale. So it feels like it's almost like right now a foregone conclusion that we have at least one spot filled, but the other four seem to be up in the air. Some have more consensus than others. So I'm kind of curious where everyone's gauging right now. Erik, I know you recently wrote the September predictions for where you see things are right now. So right under the wire.
Actor is, I mean, as anybody who is following this race, and the reason that the question was asked is that it's a bleak category. If we're actually considering Tom Cruise as a contender for fucking Top Gun, you know how bad this category is this year.
Yep.
Which is great for Brendan Fraser, because there isn't anyone that is realistically challenging him, even though The Whale has like not the best critics ratings.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, it feels like unless something massively comes into the fold, that he might, I hate saying the words walk to one, to this win, but we've seen crazier things. We've seen things change.
By that, are you implying a possible surprise drop of
any movie
that might come along?
I mean, there was a screening for a movie last night that happened, but I don't. But from what I've heard, that movie's not coming out until next year.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, good, because we just can't take that kind of shocking slap of new information into the race these days.
The real, real slap in the opinion. There you go. Good job, Josh. Comedy points to you. Yes. He's referring to Emancipation with Will Smith. Obviously, he won't be doing a lot of campaigning for that, but there's just like one screening that happened last night. Well, he's not going to do a lot of like guilds and stuff. People aren't going to invite him to things probably.
Well, he can't go to any Academy screenings for
exactly.
it.
There you
he
go.
Literally is banned from them.
Exactly. And I don't think they're going to nominate him really after, no matter how good the performance is. If it does come out, I don't think that they will even nominate him for it, because he's not going to show up. He's not going to be there. So it's a moot point.
We can just talk about actual contenders.
Exactly. Like the film that was drafted by your team, Erik, and Elvis. Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Austin Butler, baby.
Oh my God, here we go.
Number 2 right now.
My nightmare has continued all the way into the fall, that movie will stick around.
It's not just sticking around. It's going all the way.
It's going all the way.
Coming.
It's coming from my nightmares.
Warner Brothers is going to put its last 2 cents together for this, because it's
Listen, Ryan, you can only fight one movie at a time. You got to decide if you're going to fight Elvis or Avatar: Way of the Water. You can only fight one.
That is true. That is true. I think we all know where I'll stick my allegiance in a fight against. But
yeah, you'll be wrong, but it's okay.
Thanks, Josh. I really appreciate that. How do you guys see this playing out in the other 4 spots? I think Butler's pretty in there, but I just saw the Banshees of Inisherin with Colin Farrell, and I thought he was really good in the film. He's had an immaculate year with like 3 or 4 different performances, very different than the others. I think that this is like his time to get in a 5. I still think his performance in After Yang is the better of all of his performances. That's just my personal opinion. But I still think it's a very good performance in that movie. Would love to see him get nominated for the Batman, but that's just beside the point.
Clearly his best performance of the year.
There you go. Josh's face right there when we were saying that.
He's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just fine. He has
Josh,
a few funny moments that are like, why am I in this movie? But
they're great, and they're great.
Yeah.
Josh, how you see the other 4 spots playing out alongside Mr. Fraser?
Yeah, it's interesting, because I do feel like the other contenders are in a position where they could feel safe or they could just miss. Like, I do feel pretty good about Colin Farrell. I think that there's enough goodwill out there that it's finally coming around to be his time. But, weird things could happen. I think Austin Butler, as much as I want to believe that seems like a sure thing, I get just kind of flashbacks of Taron Egerton in, with Rocket Man. I'm worried about that. I know that people want to write off Hugh Jackman for The Sun, but I feel like that movie could possibly still work a lot better for the industry than it has with kind of the general critical reception. I don't think you can necessarily count him out either. So there's still a lot of possibilities, I find, in this race, where it still feels very fluid to me at the moment.
Yeah. Nicole?
Yeah, I definitely agree with all of that. I personally feel really good about both Colin Farrell and Austin Butler getting in. I think that what Austin Butler has that Taron Egerton didn't have is some time away from Bohemian Rhapsody. I think that that really is what sunk Taron. And I think that obviously we're sort of far enough away from that now that it's not going to work against Austin Butler like it did him. I also am, I think you're right. Hugh Jackman's still in the mix. I'm also looking at Diego Calva for Babylon, if that sort of is the across the board contender that I kind of have it in my predictions as right now, then I definitely could see him getting in with it. And I also haven't really counted out Bill Nighy for Living. I think that's a really great performance, sort of a really nice capstone to his career in a way. And if they want to sort of give him that nomination, with his age, I think sometimes that works well for actors. Not that I'm saying that like he's done acting or something, but I think it's also a thing where Bill Nighy has been an actor who has not gotten to play leads a lot in his career. He tends to, especially recently, be supporting characters. So I think that, and it's a great performance. But I'm really sort of struggling to figure out who else I think is really in the mix, even to sort of fill out like a 10 at the moment, because there are so many great performances this year that I would love to see in this conversation, but they're mostly in things that aren't going to be in this conversation, like, Paul Mescal in After Sun, or
he can be in the conversation. He's going to get like Gotham and Spirit Award noms.
I hope.
He'll be
or
be
like Kelvin Harrison Jr. and Chevalier. Like, I would love to see him because I think that's a great performance.
I think that's going to be 2023.
It's still
still up in the air.
We still don't know.
We're so far into the season now. It would be a strange thing to be like, oh, surprise, December.
Yeah, I mean, like,
unless they Cyrano it.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's what I'm afraid they're going to do. I'm very afraid it's going to get Cyrano. But yeah, so it's sort of, I mean, listen, if Paul's campaign gets up and running, I'm ready to jump on. But
yeah,
we will be co-directors of that campaign.
Yes, we will.
All right, calm down.
Here's a funny thing about this category, and that benefits Hugh Jackman immensely, is that all the people that we've talked about would be first timers,
nominees. Yeah.
And when you get past Jackman, that list to get down to somebody that's been nominated before, you're going like way down the list.
You're going to like Adam Driver and White Noise. Or it's Cruise, yeah.
Unless it's Cruise or Adam Driver.
Yeah, unless it is, because
unless the Academy really loves Amsterdam because Christian Bale is back on his wacky shit.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I know obviously we just saw, Best Picture defy 84 years of history, but Best Actor, other than like the first 3 years, it's never seen a year of all first timers ever.
Yeah, I mean it would be, and the closest we got to it was a couple years ago when
I looked it up.
2020 when we had what, three?
It's been a very, very,
but not like the whole lineup.
Very long time since we even had 4 out of 5.
Yeah, there
is a familiarity, there's a name checkability to things that is comfortable. But also this category for the longest time always has at least one first timer. So you have to look at that weird balance. And so I don't know who that benefits the most, but I do think that Jackman clearly is in front of most.
Yeah.
That's what he's a master campaigner too. He will know how to work.
He's very personable.
I mean, he was just in the major news because he's going to play Wolverine again. I mean, he's everywhere. He just was on Broadway and got nominated for a Tony. So he's
man.
He'll talk to anyone.
But he
really
didn't
will
win that Tony, did he?
No, he did not.
No, he did not.
I mean, he does already have a Tony, so
yeah, that's fair. But also too, I mean, this is the product though, this category especially, of a lot of the delays or a lot of movies that have been carried over to 2023. I mean, this is a category where, if Killers of the Flower Moon had existed in this year, or something like Napoleon from Apple, then they would clearly have two major contenders in this category in Leonardo DiCaprio and Joaquin Phoenix. So that bodes well for a lot of these newcomers. And usually in years, you're right, Erik. I mean, we would have so many of these like, oh, well, they've nominated him before, or this and this and that. And, you know, a lot of the New York audiences are eating up at NYFF right now, Adam Driver's performance in White Noise. But I don't know if necessarily that movie, because it is out there and challenging from a lot of the audience's takes, that's something that they're going to carry all the way. And if they did, I think that would speak to like how much they love Adam Driver and Baumbach. But Dan, I'm curious about some of like the, you know, we've talked about maybe three. I think we're all in the consensus about Fraser and Butler and Farrell, but then, you know, we talked about Jackman, and Nicole mentioned Diego Calva for Babylon. But are there some other ones that you're seeing, maybe some ones that we haven't even talked about yet that could sneak in there and be part of that 5 conversation when it's all said and done?
The one that I am really keeping my eye on to see how they roll this movie out is Jeremy Pope in The Inspection.
Mm-hmm.
He is a fantastic actor. He's already a 2-time Tony nominee. He is very, very likable in person. No, he gives great interview. He's very personable in, you know, when meeting people, and he is that movie. And it's an incredible performance. It's a very, very physical, very emotional. He, you know, is basically spending the whole movie at Marine boot camp, and he's really great in it. He is charisma just oozing out of him, and that is the one that I'm like, if they play that right, I mean, he's going to get a lot of breakthrough awards and mentions, and if they play that right, it could get to a point where maybe SAG does take notice, like he's the newcomer that surprises. But really, he's like at the bottom of my like top 10 possibilities list. This is rarely a super deep category, but it feels like this year it is particularly, just because, like, I mean, if you look at the movies that are really in contention for Best Picture, because Best Picture and lead actor usually have very close connection there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not going to nominate the kid from The Fabelmans. It's just not happening.
Sorry, Jude Hill.
You know, there you have Banshees and Babylon that we've talked about. Women Talking, not a lead man to be seen. We have The Whale. She Said, also not a lead male to be seen. Tar,
Everything Everywhere
not
All
a
at
lead man.
Once.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, not a lead man. You got Top Gun hunting for that Best Picture nomination, and you have like I guess like a foreign contender like Triangle of Sadness or All Quiet on the Western Front. But like, I don't see Harris Dickinson getting in for Triangle of Sadness, as funny as he is in that. And like, maybe Parquet Hill from Decision to Leave, but I also don't know that is going to be like an acting play.
It could be. It is a 2-person showcase.
It is. I feel.
Yeah.
True, it's really more about Park Chan-wook and what he does with the direction of that movie. I think that's what that campaign is going to be. Like, I would. I mean, goddammit, I would love to see, since they have ruled that it can compete now, I would love to see Darryl McCormick in the conversation for Good Luck to You, Leo Grande. You know, we've spent a lot of time talking about Emma Thompson in that movie, but he more than holds his own, and my God. My God.
The clips. Just would love to see those clips.
Yeah. Would love to see that happen. But I'm curious because I haven't seen it yet. Do the people who have seen it, do you think that there is a lead in All Quiet on the Western Front that could make a play? Because that movie feels like it would be right up the Academy's alley.
There is very much a lead in it. Eric, do you remember his name? It's Felix something.
Yeah, but it's
something very German.
like a lammermurmur or
Yeah.
or something like that.
My hesitation with it is he's quite young. I mean, not like child young, but in that sort of age that I feel like the Academy doesn't love with men. I think if a younger man is getting in, it's Austin Butler, and they're going to be like, check, that's it. Even though he's older than he looks, I don't know that they'll know that.
Yeah.
But also, I wonder if because Felix is such a like unknown, if that just works against him. Although, I mean, I guess if they pushed it right, like he could be in the conversation. If they do what they did for
Roma, yeah.
I would be beyond shocked if he was even close to contention. But are we just completely writing Bardo off entirely?
Nope. I was just about to talk about it. I was just about to talk about it.
It does have a new cut, so
I'm telling you this is that I've heard from people that the new cut is great, and the people that have seen it have seen both. And I mean, Eric and I really like the first cut of it. I'm very curious.
I'm just weary about exactly
what they cut out. And
how definitively people have just dropped Bardo across the board all over the place.
See, and that's the thing is I think that's a dangerous thing to do.
I'm not ready to do that
because of the fact that he gets actors in, and it is very much an actor showcase alongside him, because he's literally playing the director. And he's really good in the film too.
In a lot of things for Bardo, I've sort of moved it into my like 6 to 10 spots for right now. Partially because I am waiting to sort of see what happens with it, with the new cut and everything, and see if it picks up sort of steam after those first initial reactions. And that's where I have him sitting right now, is sort of in that. I don't have him in my getting in predictions, but he's sitting there in the could happens.
I have him at 5, and I have actually Calva out because of the fact that I don't know what that role is going to be, and how we don't
really know what Babylon is going to be.
That's the other thing too, is it's like I worry about that movie, and it's not that I don't think that Damien Chazelle is a good filmmaker or anything, but everybody has their limitations, and the criticisms with La La Land, and obviously about like white people and jazz and everything like that. And so to have a Latino as your lead in the film and everything, I do worry about that he will get lost within the pomp and the circumstance and the epicness, I guess, of that scope. And I worry about it from that standpoint. But then also too, like you mentioned the actor from All Quiet on the Western Front, I do worry about that a little bit because of the fact that, George McKay did not get in for like something like 1917. And that felt like pretty much for that movie, which was a front runner when it was premiered, he didn't get in. And I worry about it. This, also to the Netflix thing.
And this is another young blonde.
Exactly.
And again, like they're breaking their backs carrying these movies,
Well, I mean, we're talking also about, Mescal, Pope, Fraser. That's A24. You mentioned, All Quiet on the Western Front, Bardo, even Daniel Craig is in some people's estimations, in a 20. He's in a 20.
I would love if that happened. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Years.
No, but what I'm saying is that usually it's very tough for a studio to get multiple nominations. And if you start stacking it up, it becomes limited. And so that's why I like Searchlight having Colin Farrell and Butler, that plays well to them. Sony Pictures Classics, they have the son. So does that hurt Bill Nighy and his chance with like Living?
I genuinely don't think so. No one knows how to run a last minute campaign better than Sony Pictures Classics.
I do think the person that we haven't talked about, and I know because the film won't compete in international, but there is Song Kang-ho for Broker, which
he does have a precursor win to his name.
He
does, but Cannes is weird, and they don't have supporting categories, and really that whole cast, it is a true ensemble. They're all supporting, and really he's not the one that I come away from that thinking, oh my God, how wonderful Song Kang-ho is in that movie.
Agree. But also too, he knows how to work a room, and Neon really doesn't have a big giant focus this year. And I think that they could.
Well, they're clearly shifting to triangle. That's not
Yeah.
But they don't have an actor play with triangle, so
they should, because Harris Dickinson's fantastic.
He's hilarious.
He's all right.
So
He's
good.
all right.
Nobody
And
asked.
gorgeous.
I mean, that he is, but the movie.
Yeah, I can't comment on the first part, but I do agree on the second.
This
but
is the longest we probably ever need to spend on Best Actor.
Well, there
True.
also is Tom Hanks in A Man Called
I
Otto.
was just gonna, unfortunately.
Oh, right. That's
bring that
happening.
up.
Keep
That's a movie that
forgetting
exists.
movie exists.
Yes, literally.
It's supposed to come out December 22nd, but where is it?
Here it comes. Here comes the late breaker, and it's him. There you go. Don't.
Look, if I would love for Tom Hanks to get his double nomination this year. I would. I think that would be the best double nomination year anyone has had.
What about a triple? Throw him in for Pinocchio. I mean,
Holy
let's
shit.
go.
you know-
What is wrong with y'all?
I just realized that we talked all about this and no one mentioned Timothy Chalamet for Bones and All.
Oh, he should totally get in, but that
I'm not letting myself hope.
But we don't live in that perfect timeline, Dan. God, he's so
Listen.
good in that movie.
The perfect
Unlike-
timeline would involve a win for Mark Rylance for that movie, but
Yeah.
no one is ready for that.
Yeah.
Unlike many of us here, the Academy does not like twinks. I've accepted it.
He also Rylance would have to accept
However-
in that voice. He would have to accept in that voice.
Oh my god!
Choices were
anyone
made.
Heard Mark Rylance's real voice?
I
Because
have.
I am not sure
I
that
have.
there is one.
There is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
Because when
know.
it's not like a high-pitched weirdo, I don't even know if it's
I'm
him.
convinced the real voice is when he's doing Shakespeare.
Yeah,
Mhm.
see,
Yes.
that's what I think too.
Basically, yes.
That's what I think too. Okay.
Exactly.
We're on the
All
same
right.
page.
Let's move over to Chaos.
Cool, because we're gonna spend like an hour and 15 minutes on
Yeah,
this.
we really are
It's true.
because it's best actress.
For Christ's
So
sake.
I'd like to kick it off to Dan first because Dan, you
Oh,
saw Till last night.
I
or
did.
and I saw a lot of people getting their first reactions into that film. I see that in a week's time, and I'm looking very much forward to seeing it. But we've been talking about a lot of these other candidates, and then Daniel Detweiler was kind of the person we were all like, oh, we've heard things and such and such. So Dan, I'm kind of curious what you thought of her performance. And
If she does not get a nomination for this performance, the Academy should be embarrassed.
okay, well, there we go.
It is easily one of the best performances of the year, of anyone in any size. And on top of that, like, it's good Oscar bait. Like, she has all the crying scenes and the hell hath no fury scenes, and she has everything, and she brings it, and she is the entire movie. She really is, and she is absolutely incredible. The depth of feeling that she has is out of this world. It's really the best chance that a Black woman has had to win the Oscar in quite some time.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, at this point, and looking at who else is in the conversation for this potential, lineup, unless Cate Blanchett in Tar is really like completely like undeniable, she has to get a third, like, because they don't do that often, but they've done it more in like recent years than they have in like all the years prior. Like, honestly, I think that is her only competition, and the thing that is going to make or break her campaign is they have to do a full court press for not just the movie, but for her specifically.
Oh, I think they have
Because
to do it for the movie.
They have to do it for the movie. They do have to get people to see the movie, but even then, she is not, a Jennifer Lawrence. She's not a young newcomer. She's, I think, like in her early 40s, but she does not have a lot like this is her first big lead role.
Yeah.
So we're like, in terms of the closest I can get to like an Oscar analog is like kind of Monique in Precious, but Monique was still like relatively famous as a comedian before that. But it's very much that kind of like middle-aged, not famous, but a performance that blows everyone else out of the water. And in lead, it will not be enough to say just vote for the performance.
Yeah.
Because they don't have anything to really compare it to for how much she has transformed or how much she's acting or whatever. So I worry, but like she should be winning.
Yeah. I mean, Erik, I feel like we have the biggest secret of the podcasters here, because we're the ones that have seen Tar, and we've experienced exactly what Dan was describing as this tour de force performance that's coming, that I sit here every day praying. And Dan, I think you see it tomorrow, right? If I'm not mistaken, or this week.
Later
this week. I just, I don't say this a lot, and I do tend to root for people that, that win their first Oscars or and tend not to sway towards repeats, but sometimes a performance just comes along and you just see it. And Erik, I know you had Detweiler put in your top 5. So I'm kind of curious, but I think, did you?
And then I put Cate Blanchett at number 1.
So I'm curious, what is that? What I'm describing is that feeling of just, we might be, as much as we're talking about this category being very competitive, are we kind of maybe inching a little bit closer to maybe a consensus at the top with her? I mean, I think that once this film comes out, I think people will see it. And
how we can't.
But I'm just saying is that it's. I think that the one thing that is definitely not going to happen.
Only one of the movies in my top 5 has even come out, so there is
that's true. Consensus. Well, I think that if anyone thinks that one studio or one film is winning multiple Oscars in the acting categories, I've seen a lot of that predicting this week, and I don't think that that's going to happen. But I do think that Focus is going to push her big time, because she's already making the rounds. And she is 100% in this film. It's not a frame without her. And without
there
her,
literally is not a scene in 2 hours and 40 minutes without Cate Blanchett. Not.
Oh, so she's Paulina Garcia in Gloria, that famous Best Actress Oscar winner.
You push against it all you want. She's
kidding.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Totally kidding.
I was like, my side eye just went around the whole other side of my face.
I saw it was good. It was worth saying it just for that reaction.
But why did you put her at number 1 right now, Erik? Because you had Michelle.
When I do my predictions, this is not like I think Cate Blanchett is winning. These are the prediction section.
Yeah, I know.
Nominations, then we have winner predictions.
But you changed, so I'm curious why you changed. That's all.
I changed because I saw the performance, because it is so all encompassing, and because she is Cate Blanchett. So I think she has the best chance of a nomination more than pretty much anyone. But when you're looking, I haven't seen Till yet, but everything from what I understand of the film and of Detweiler, if you're going to put something like Blanchett in Tar and Detweiler in Till next to each other in terms of the style and type of movie, type of performance, type of character, and type of role, clearly Detweiler is sympathetic, empathetic, much easier to absorb, where you can look at Blanchett and Tars as a massive critical hit, but maybe the industry will be a little chillier to the reception, because it is about a person at the top of their game in multiple industries, and watching them kind of disintegrate in it. And the groups don't always like seeing mirrors put up to their lives and their careers. So I can see that happening, as much as we have talked about, and lots of people are talking about, the accessibility or inaccessibility of Tar. I think that might be the thing that changes that. I mean, every single critic I've talked to loves it. I've talked to actors who do not like it. So there might be something that's just like, I don't need to see that.
No, they don't like the film. I know that. But they like her.
Yeah, I think that's it's almost.
And unless you sweep, you're not winning an Oscar, though.
Yeah.
If they like you, but they don't like your movie, you have to be undeniable in the race, which I think she will do very well with the critics. It's the industry that I'm not 100% on with.
Yeah, Blanchett would have to sweep.
She's already swept once. Like, she can do it. But I wonder, like,
she did it for a Woody Allen movie.
She did it for a Woody Allen
movie.
Which,
it was a Woody Allen movie. Like, we can disparage that now, but in 2013, that was a big deal.
Yeah,
it always is a big deal.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you, Josh.
And the thing that worries me about her performance in Tar is that, like, the difficult female character thing, like, those tend to not win unless it's like, you know, the Iron Lady.
Yeah, but you know, every single,
that hurt just hearing that. Yeah.
Every single person in the running is going to have a very specific narrative and their own narrative going in, and it's just a matter of figuring out
heavy field,
which is the one that works. Because Blanchette's is, you know, I'm the new Meryl Streep, and I'm gonna have 2 fucking dozen nominations by the end of my career. I already have 2 Oscars. Michelle Yeoh, veteran, getting her first. Michelle Williams, she'll be on her 5th if she gets in here, and we haven't even talked about that whole thing.
We haven't talked about that yet.
We have been still get in if she's in the Judi Dench era of her career. Deadweiler is a fantastic first-time nominee breakthrough kind of thing. And then, you know, Viola Davis, Naomi Ackie, Margot Robbie, Emma Thompson, Jennifer Lawrence. There's a lot.
Why don't you just mention everybody?
Because you can shuffle 10 names around.
You really could.
All look pretty good together.
Yeah. I mean, I will say the one thing that, and Dan, you talked about it, is United Artists, they have to push.
They really do.
And the thing about Tar right now is I'm more comfortable in saying that is the best picture nominee at this point than Till, though things can change and times can change.
Director and screenplay.
Yeah, I mean, those are supporting actress. I mean,
what's Till gonna get?
Maybe score too.
It could realistically, it could do like score, song,
maybe makeup,
costumes. I mean, maybe makeup. I don't know how they will like
Whoopi
consider that. No,
they put eyebrows on her. So.
I mean,
you never know. I mean,
the achievement unlocked.
Yeah,
but really, like it will also
Goldberg was unrecognizable.
It will also depend with Till on whether they rule that screenplay as adapted or original.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of contenders in original this year, and adapted is a little bit of a weaker field. It was one of those things where it was like the man who directed a documentary on Emmett Till wrote the script that probably based on the documentary, but then went through several edits, and who, like, will they count it as officially adapted from the documentary or not? We don't know. But if it does get adopted, it could squeak in there. But again, like, if people see it.
Deadweiler is also somebody that probably doesn't need anything else to come along with her.
Absolutely.
If her performance and narrative carry it, then that's all that she needs.
I think it does help, though, because
it helps, absolutely.
I think like Dan, I think it was Dan or maybe it was Josh that said it earlier. Like, usually it's actor that's going to carry a lot of weight into who is going to win Best Picture.
Yeah.
And Eric, you and I talked to us. It really feels like actress is that this year. And if you don't have that, that's big. I mean, like last year we were trying to put the pieces together. Who's going to win Best Actress based off of the other nominations that those films had. And we were like, like when we were sitting there going like, well, it's not going to be Kristen Stewart. She's the only nominee. So throw that out. And, and we were trying to play that game. And then ultimately, a corresponding Oscars, 2 Oscars for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. So
speaking of, maybe Jessica Chastain will get it for The Good Nurse.
Maybe. So that's where I wanted to kick it over to Nicole.
Sure.
And Nicole, Eric mentioned a bunch of names. Are there some names there? Obviously, like Michelle Yeoh. I mean, we're all pretty pretty much thinking that she might be. But are there some other names that you're kind of considering, not even just to like, squeak in, but that could round out this 5 and solidify? I think that this actually, by the way, could be just one of the best actress lineups we have had in a long time. But anyway, Nicole, what do you think?
Yeah. So obviously we've talked about Cate Blanchett and Danielle Deadwyler and Michelle Yeoh, who I'm still worried about.
Mhm.
Viola Davis for the Woman King. If they know what's good for them, they'll nominate her. I don't know that they know what's good for them though. Olivia Colman in Empire of Light. I never bet against Olivia Colman because when you do, it tends to turn out poorly for you. That makes it sound like she's a mob boss. That's not what I mean by that.
We don't know what she does.
Although,
on her
like,
time
if
off.
she was,
She's not showing up to a lot of events. She could be, the
Yeah.
bodies are piling up.
I obviously Michelle Williams is somewhere in there. For the Fablemans, now that we know that she is lead, unless they Lakeith her. I also have heard rumblings that they could put Margot Robbie supporting now.
Where do those rumblings come from, Nicole?
I'm
Not from me.
Well, also, I have heard the same thing about Carey Mulligan, and she said
Yes.
too.
That makes
So
sense, though, that they
I
could
would
run both
not-
her and Kazan in supporting them.
Yeah.
As well.
I would not be surprised if somebody who is on the border they push to supporting.
Yeah. That
Just
category's wide
because
open.
Now that there's an
we
opening.
looks so crowded. So if there's any place where it wouldn't just be like absolute category fraud, I wouldn't be shocked by it.
Well, they've
but-
already decided to push Dusum Mbedu from the Woman King in supporting, which is
This is category
kind of fraudy.
fraud.
Yeah.
It's kind of fraudy. With that one,
I mean,
will
you have
allow
Viola
it
Davis as the
for-
star. Like,
Right.
it's kind of
Yeah.
expected. It is fraud,
Yeah.
but I.
It's
expected
like
it.
one of
But
those. You're like,
it's not
yeah,
the kind
okay.
of it's not the kind of fraud I would call it if they had pushed like both of them supporting, and then I'd be like, really, what are we doing here?
I think it's fair that they're doing what they are with them.
Yeah.
I think
It feels a little like old Hollywood of them to do it that
Yeah.
way, but
the word.
hey,
I tell you, if I was Lashana
Um,
Lynch, I would be a little upset.
Yep.
well, yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to think who else who like hasn't been mentioned. Emma Thompson, for Good Luck.
Well, I
Julia
mean, we
Rondo.
haven't talked about
That's feels like a Golden
Ana
Globe
de Armas
nomination.
either.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we think Ana de Armas
I
is
don't need
dead,
to.
or
I think she-
like?
That sounds weird. I don't think she's dead.
It's
I think she's alive, but Ana de Armas updates will let us know if she has.
I'm alive, but I'm dead. It is that TikTok
Shout out to
sound.
Ana
I'm
de
alive, but
Armas
I'm dead.
updates. We love you.
My thing with her is I don't know that enough people will make it through the film.
Yep.
Because it's long and she's not in the beginning of it.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know. Is the Academy that impressed by her ability to say the word daddy? Who knows? I personally don't have her in because I think
just
it's
think that-
actually a very one-note performance.
It's very
Daddy,
it's
good
it's a, it's a lot to take in. Also, it is a very polarizing film. I mean, we've heard
Yeah.
Yeah,
some
I mean, when
people.
Planned Parenthood comes out,
So polarizing
your
that sometimes people go from 5 stars to no stars.
I mean, really, they do.
So
Listen.
polarizing. With
So
after
polarizing.
the public reaction drops. Isn't
Mm.
that interesting?
isn't that fascinating?
Amazing how that happened.
That never happens, though. I mean, come on.
No.
Never.
They definitely don't
Integrity.
almost forget to take it out of their
Please.
number one spot in their ranking of the year, though.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh.
Anyway,
Yeah. But yeah, the other person I still sort of have floating somewhere is Jennifer Lawrence in Causeway.
Yep.
Because she's Jennifer
Yeah.
Lawrence.
Yeah, she's not leaving that causeway. Tell you that. Yeah. Although I say that it's mostly just for her. You know, it like the because she is a previous nominee and a winner, and that she got in for something like Joy, and so you always have to. Even last year, we were kind of like putting her around in the 6 to 10 range for some people because we were just like, you never know. We don't know how
I've
to
heard
respond to it.
she's
And I heard she's
very
really good in it. Yeah, her
I've
and Brian
heard
Tyree Henry.
Henry is really good.
And this is her
I
big
haven't
like
ruled
welcome
out-
back.
Yeah,
I haven't ruled out
it's
the
a-
idea that they could both get in.
It's a quiet, small movie.
yeah.
And
But
when you
also-
put that against the Olivia Colmans, Michelle Williams, Cate Blanchett,
And the
Deadweiler,
Naomi Ackie as Whitney
which are
Houston.
performances at 11.
Yeah.
Even a Jennifer Lawrence is going to have a hard time breaking into that for an Apple original film that is like,
Yeah. Josh, I'm curious because I know that you haven't seen a lot of these films yet, but the Chicago Film Festival is right around the corner and you'll see a ton of these. From your perspective on the outside, like where are you seeing it based off of hearing buzz and seeing the reactions to things? Because I actually think you're in like the best position, Josh, because like you haven't seen these films, so you don't have a passion for them yet either way. And so you can kind of sit here objectively and be like, this is what I think based off of all this information, how I'm feeling right now. And also Josh
also the
key is the best actress whisperer. So I'm curious. Josh Parham, where we're at. What are you thinking, Josh?
Yeah, this is always a category that gives me the most grief because I feel like there's pressure for me to get it right. And at this point, I don't have a clue really of what to do with this category. It seems very much in flux. I think all of these contenders have very big things going for them, but I think there are also demerits in some of these campaigns that I can see. And like, I think people like Blanchett and Deadweiler, they do feel kind of undeniable just from their performances, but I worry about those movies connecting to more broader audiences. And, you know, like Michelle Williams is still a big question mark, but honestly, if the field is really divided, if she's in the movie that's going to win Best Picture, that's how I predicted McDormand to win. So, and she's got an overdue narrative herself, and Margot Robbie's she's in an untested film, so we have no idea how that's going to land. And Michelle Yeoh, there's a lot of support, but I still think that movie, I'm still kind of waiting and seeing what that movie's really going to do. So I really think that it could go in 1,000 different directions right now, which is very exciting for the race. I'm glad that it feels so up in the air because by the time we get to the major precursors, it will become very solidified and be way less interesting.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, there's what is it, Tang Wei for Decision to Leave, who's fantastic.
It's so good.
And if that movie picks up steam, that would be great, though. That would, like Dan, you said, that kind of be more like the Drive My Car situation where it's like possibly picture and international and maybe screenplay and director. You know, there's dual Florence Pugh. You know,
pew,
there's pew pew.
I mean, but if you want to talk about an international contender that's really coming, Nicole knows Corsage, Vicky Creeps.
Man,
she's creeping.
Oh, man, she's creeping
her way.
Yeah, Naomi Ackie. We've seen the trailer for I Want to Dance with Somebody, which was a bad trailer.
Was it?
It wasn't great.
I'm just saying, like, but like, yeah, to us, but like,
yeah,
like
it was bad.
General audiences,
it didn't look good.
I'll say I have been in more than one theater where it has gotten applause.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think that movie is going to be a big deal when it comes out.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, Judge, what is it? Who wrote the screenplay again? It's
Anthony McCartan.
Anthony McCartan.
Bet against him at your peril.
That guy's in The Actor Whisperer as well. And then there's the Rooney of it all. If they want to push her in lead for Women Talking, and I don't know if that'll happen, but
I think she's a sacrificial lamb. But
yeah. I mean, all honesty, I really would love to see like Taylor Russell move up the boards more and more for Bones and All. Her performances incredible.
Well, if the last 2 years have showed us anything with this category, anything can happen because the precursors have been all over the place rather than solidified and really making it a little more fun and a little more interesting. And BAFTA is, really is the one that kind of shook that to its core. And it's going to again. And this year, the Spirit Awards are actually positioning themselves into as an Oscar precursor, because instead of being the day before the Oscars, they're happening right in the middle of voting.
Yep.
That is a huge move. And so we're going to see a lot of these Spirit Award, Gotham Award type of performances have a whole lot of visibility,
speeches, and get highlighted.
Wait, and didn't they raise the limit for budgets for consideration for indie spirits too?
30 million.
Yep. So there you go.
Which is where Everything Everywhere is like right at.
Yeah.
Man,
So
I just want to see Taylor Russell eat the competition
for Michelle Yeoh.
I just want to see Taylor Russell eat up the competition. That's all. And I think that this question, obviously, we just kind of answered it, but I wanted to throw it out there. It said Jake Hamilton said that I just saw Tar, and can anybody beat Kate this year? This might be my favorite performance I've seen so far this year. Yeah, I mean, like it's very fluid right now. Also, thank you so much, Jake, for that question. Jake, you're the best. But in all honesty, I mean, we didn't really talk about Michelle Williams, like, and how we feel about this. I sat here when that news came out, and I rolled my eyes in the back of my head, but I know that a lot of people sort of was like, you know, people were justifying it either way. I'm curious, anybody out there like that's seen the film, what their thoughts are, because like I still think either way, if she's in lead or in supporting, she's getting in. She's screwed herself on a win. She's
getting in regardless of where they put her.
I am not entirely sure that she gets into lead. Depending on like how things go towards the end of the year. But I certainly think like she still stands a very good chance. Like she's in my like 5th spot right now. And
she's at number 3 for me. Best actress.
She's in the front. I mean, she's in the front
for like 6 months.
Like, and honestly, I do like in no way is it a lead performance. I mean, the closest you can get is saying like, okay, fine, she is the leading female, but like it is not a lead role in any way, shape, or form.
I don't think it's like a humongous fraud because she does cross over all the way from the beginning as the kid is growing up. But then at the halfway point,
she basically disappears.
When Gabriel LaBelle takes over, it's really his story and school stuff and the filming stuff. But I mean, again, her presence is constantly looming, and she's standing on tables screaming, "I'm in therapy."
Oh my God. I'm waiting for the GIF. Like that is my favorite moment of the year.
I need that moment. I need it all the time.
All the time.
But yeah, she is acting at 11 all the time.
It's a lot.
In her representation of mental illness. But then, you know, so is Olivia Colman. Olivia Colman has like 2 or 3 monologues that are high level.
Oh my God.
Hysteria.
Yeah. There are
however, she feels a lot more grounded to me than Michelle Williams did.
Oh, we didn't talk about an actor, Michael Ward, too, for Empire Light. They both, you know,
because he's in supporting.
Did
they put him in supporting? Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at Eric's predictions, and then I guess they changed before you made the.
They did. I didn't switch him out because they changed it.
I blame Erik. But I mean she's, but it's also too Judge Olivia Colman, like Nicole says, on your own peril. Like I can't.
She's still in my top 5
until
she's in mine too.
It's one of those things where I'm like, until she doesn't get nominated by a voting body, I don't think I can take her out. And I mean, we didn't even think she was going to win that Emmy, and then she won it. So it's like, good Lord.
Everybody loves her, and that is a juicy part.
Yes, it is.
And she's great. Like, when is she not? But like, she's great.
One of the best lines the whole year.
Oh my God. What's the best scene? Like, easily.
Which
I
one?
love a Shakespeare reference.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But
I will repeat that drunk out of my mind all the time.
Same. I don't even have to be drunk, but
we will obviously talk about actor and actress throughout the rest of the year, especially actress. This will be a conversation that is just going to take up too much time, and like for Josh especially, it's going to take up a lot of time in our head and going back and forth, because Josh has to get this right. This is his brand.
If I get everything else wrong, I need to.
You have to get actress right, Josh. You're fired if you're not. Right?
Yeah,
so,
I mean, kind of.
Cancels the social medias and
canceled. Yep.
All right, we're gonna transition. I can't speak today. Over to listener questions. And so the first one comes from Paul. If you were in charge of Netflix's FYC team this year, what would you prioritize in the Oscar campaign? All Quiet, Glass Onion, something else, maybe Bardo, White Noise. It can be personal or what you just think would be the best move for them strategically. Erik, we'll start with you.
I haven't seen White Noise yet. I don't think I'm seeing that in like a week.
Yep.
But I've seen Bardo. I've seen Glass Onion. That's tough because even though I'm still thinking that Bardo will do well for them, it's not a Mank or Irishman or even like a Marriage Story type of season for them. It's going to be very different. It's going to be, I think, a little underwhelming, underperforming, but I would probably still go deep for Bardo. I just
personally think, or like, would you personally?
No, from a
strategic standpoint.
Strategy.
Okay.
Standpoint.
Personally, what would you pick?
Probably Bardo.
Okay. All right.
I love Glass Onion.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's so much fun. I just don't know how like realistic.
That would be my pick, honestly, because there's a lot of potential below the line nominations that they could get for that. If there is a production design is out of this world and like heavily featured. The score is a lot of fun. The editing is really smart. The one nomination that Knives Out got was screenplay. You could easily slide this into adapted screenplay because it's just as good. You have Kate Hudson. You have Kate Hudson ready and waiting to eat up the supporting actress field. Like, and everyone loves Catherine Hahn too. She could, Daniel Craig is right there. I think that also that is a movie that really plays well in a theater. And if you push a lot of screenings, I think that's a really easy one to get people to love and get a lot of nominations where the first one didn't. But also, like, more and more people have seen Knives Out as the year has gone on, and I feel like it's only gained popularity. So, like, why couldn't this do better?
I think it's a good point, and it's playing like 20 festivals, so it's going to have tons of
Johnson's
actual audience reactions. And Janelle Monáe is the supporting actress push, so that's
Janelle Monáe is fantastic, and she's a lead.
Then why didn't you mention her when we talked about lead?
Then because I don't think that it will happen. But
maybe I can be convinced that Glass Onion is the actual correct push.
It's also the best of their movie.
Okay.
I have thoughts.
Nicole. All right, Nicole, go.
No, I'm very passionate about this. I've been telling everyone who will listen to me. I think if they're smart, and it is also like what I personally would do, even not having seen one of these two, they would split their money and energy on a double push on All Quiet on the Western Front and Del Toro's Pinocchio. I think that they both have a lot of below the line possibilities. I think that they both are really good possibilities for best adapted screenplay. I think they both could get into picture if they were pushed correctly. Like, I think that either one of them also stands a good shot at winning a feature category. So I think that's where they should be putting their money. I also think like there's good talent attached to both. They're both known properties. Without being franchises. So I feel like that's what they should be doing. I also love Glass Onion, and I would love to see them do like a proper push on it. And I would love to see it get in at the Oscars. I just don't know if the Oscars are ready to go all in on it. But I really think, especially Netflix just released that featurette on like the making of Pinocchio. And first of all, hearing Del Toro talk about movies is like the best thing of all time. So if the whole campaign could just be like, let Del Toro talk to people about this movie, and it could go far.
I mean,
But
it worked
also-
for Nightmare Alley.
Right, exactly. We know that they like him. He's had success there before, and I think Pinocchio looks like it's something genuinely really special and really fantastic and fantastical, and but with a strong message. So I think that some people are not ready for what it's gonna do and what it could be. And I think that Netflix should be like, I mean, just imagine the like Pinocchio coffee table book they could make.
I think it has a really good chance of winning animated. There is no like Soul or Encanto really this year to battle it. So I think Netflix can finally win animated. I did get to see the opening sequences last week, and a 2.5 hour conversation with Del Toro and the entire team. And it was exhausting. It was a lot. But I mean, I don't know how you could listen to any of them, and especially him, and not be completely, enraptured.
I am gunning for it in production design.
Yeah.
And it opens with an original song immediately, like right away too.
Boom.
Yeah. Also,
And
too,
it should have a great score, right?
The score is absolutely gorgeous.
it's also, I mean, it can't be any worse than the Disney one. Anyway,
Nope,
Um,
we're not talking about that. Doesn't exist.
Doesn't
Puppy
exist.
baby!
It's actually
But
fantastic that
here's
they're
the
both in the
thing.
same year to be side by side.
I think it helps Del Toro that the bad one came
no,
out.
no, no.
Yeah.
Just a
like,
little
but
bit.
I think just having like the comparison right there of like
Yeah, be like,
to be
look
like,
at this
look
piece
what
of
he
crap,
was able to do
and look
with
at this
material.
movie. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Josh, how do you see it playing out, or what would you prefer?
I mean, yeah, I don't have any opinion on like personally what I would pick because I haven't seen most of them, but I do think that if I was looking at the field and thinking what might do best, I actually do think it would be Bardo still. And if you know me, that means I am using just cold hard logic here, because
I know.
even though I haven't seen Bardo, very unlikely that I'm going to like that film. But the fact that
know.
they went back to the editing room and cut stuff out of that movie, I think means that they are still very serious about having this be a contender. You don't do that, especially with a really big director like Iñárritu, unless you still think that there is something a path
Something
for
to
this
save.
movie.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was
Josh.
too. Couldn't believe that they actually did that.
Josh, I'm curious. If I like Avatar 2 and you like Bardo, does that mean the world ends?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Hell will certainly have frozen over.
Very much so. Very much so. I think it's the Gray Man. Obviously, got to be the push,
Best supporting
I mean-
actor for Reggae Jean Page.
right? I mean, no,
Best supporting actress, Ana de Armas.
Oh, get that double nomination. Come on, Netflix. No, I agree with Nicole on Quiet on the Western Front. I think that there really could be something. And ever since and I really just needed to see and hear positive responses for that. I see that in 2 weeks over at the Middleburg Film Festival, as well as with Glass Onion and White Noise. And I believe I will also see the cut of Bardo there as well. But I can't confirm or deny that the lineup comes out tomorrow. By the time you're listening to this, we'll all know what's out there. So I think the smart play would be to go there with All Quiet on the Western Front. And I do think Glass Onion is a play, because it is populist is the name of the game this year. I don't think all the sequels will get in, but of the sequels that will come out, and I'm not trying to make a slap towards James Cameron or to Top Gun Maverick fans, it still does feel like the more original of the sequels in the contention, because it's not necessarily Knives Out 2. It's just the next adventure within Benoit Blanc. So it's like, not to say a slight towards Kenneth Branagh, but it's like going from Death on the Nile to another Agatha Christie film, and also to have those movies come out in the year to say like, see, aren't the mystery when somebody does it right, isn't it really great?
It is
but also
nothing like Knives Out too.
Yeah.
I mean, It is a very wholly original film.
And also, I mean, people really like Rian Johnson. They like that cast. You get them in a room. It's gonna play really well. He's getting tributes around the local film festivals as well, which is something that
next week at Mill Valley.
Yes, and then after that at Middleburg. And so he'll be, and then I believe that, I think it was a smart move with Bardo to see the cut, but now it's almost like a new thing again, a little bit, in that I really have to see the new cut in order to see if it's still got the same, if it flows better, if it, because you cut 22 minutes out of the movie. That is a lot of movie to cut out.
But then this is like kind of hitting the refresh button on that movie. It is. Too. Yeah.
But then that makes me have to refresh it a little bit in how I see that film, because I'm looking at it through almost 3-hour cut as opposed to,
but the vast majority of people have not seen Bardo yet.
Sure. That's no. That's why I think that for now, I'm putting it a little to the side, even though I still think it is their Mank. It is their, in terms of, they have the prestige director behind it, a passion project, spent a ton of money on it, probably shouldn't have, but they did anyway. They'll be bankrupt in a couple of years, so we won't even have to talk about that. But it is what they do. This is their big brand this year. But I think that, clearly them trying to figure out some sort of theatrical model for Glass Onion as well, that will play a big factor into it as well. They put in $400 million to buy the next two films. They have to go and push this thing hard. And it got literally, what was it? Number 3 in the TIFF Audience Award. It is a crowd pleaser. Go and push that damn film. Have the confidence to do so.
Yeah. I mean, so was the first one. That's the one thing that I just am a little hesitant on, is just the first movie was also very, very well received, but it kind of struggled in some of those precursors. I thought it was sort of a shoo-in to get like a SAG Ensemble nomination, and it didn't do that. It didn't get into PGA, right?
It did get PGA, which a lot of people predicted it as like the number 10 spot for Best Picture.
Yeah, so it's like, it did very well, but at the end of the day, it only got a screenplay nomination and didn't do as well with the precursors as I thought. And when it's a sequel, the bar is raised much higher. And, I've heard from some people that it does clear that, others it didn't. It was just a good movie. So I'm still a little kind of wait and see with that one.
I got you.
No, I think it is fascinating though, when you have so many different festivals and the response at this festival is so dramatically different, or it does reinvigorate. It feels like White Noise at Venice was so quiet.
And then now in New York
feels
it's awakened.
So
if it was going to play anywhere,
it's going to play well at New York.
Sure.
It's a home turf advantage.
It would be pretty terrible if it bombed in New York. That would have been awful.
Bardo was poorly received at Venice and poorly received at Telluride. So it
was, there's only one way to go.
Better at Telluride.
Yeah, it was a little better at Telluride.
It was a little better at Telluride because Ryan was there.
Yeah, it was the last film
on
the critics list for Michael's Telluride blog.
Yeah,
last. It was like a 2.8 or something. Yeah, it was bad.
All right, next question. Also from Paul, but I thought I usually don't do 2 questions from people, but I thought this was a really good question. I'm the only one in my, in parentheses, conservative extended family whose main interest is film, and often deal with condescending comments and questions about it. As people who cover film, do you have any advice how to explain that interest in the arts is just as valid as sports, science, or other topics? I think that's a really good question.
It's an awesome question.
Yep.
I think there's only one real answer to it though. If you have like sports fan family that are not like movie fan people, speak to them in terminology and language of their interests that makes it applicable to film, and then you can sort of bridge the gap a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it's all emotional, I think, really too. I mean, like, people get emotionally invested in the sports and politics and things of that nature, and I think
fandom
it's the same thing. And
is
I mean,
the same on
it's just as bad with movies as it is other things. So yeah, connect that way as well.
We talk about the Oscars all the time as feeling like you are on a team of a
It's
movie.
a sport.
And if you don't see the movies and 10 movies are nominated for Best Picture, you're like, I've seen one of these. You don't have a team. You have one movie and you're like, I don't really care.
We did a draft.
Just saying.
Come on. It's you can talk about it in a way that is meaningful, and you can also talk about it in a way that's fun. Like there's, I don't know, Josh, Nicole, Dan, how do you guys go? I mean, we all have family members that when we try to explain this to, like, that we write about films or that we go to film festivals and stuff, people like always give me at least the face of like, I don't know. Oh, okay, that's cool or whatnot, and then you kind of have to explain it to them. And then I don't even know if they still get it, but then, I guess it's like what you said, Erik, you have to, it's not dumb it down, but it's
not dumbing
just
it down.
Relate it.
It's just relating with people.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, for sure. Like I've been very lucky that most of the important people in my life have been very understanding that this is what my passion is, and that is what they recognize. And I think that also speaks to the relatability of it, is that even if you can't explain like the exact details of this thing that makes you so interested in film, you can still communicate your passion for it. And people always respond to passion. They may not always get what it is that you're doing, but they understand that you're excited about it.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thank you, Paul. Next question is from Ethan. It is super early, but if you had to guess what the DGA 5 this year would be, what do you think it will be?
Basic.
Well, you take 4 out of 5 of your director nominees, and then
throw in a wild card.
You replace with like a very boring
Adam McKay. Yeah.
Take out the foreign language film director that's getting in, and put him in DGA, and
that's pretty much what you got.
So like Spielberg.
Well, yeah.
Sarah Polley.
Yeah. Although a little fringe, but yeah, she'll get in.
No fringe. She's in. Thank you. No, thank you on that kind of shade, Erik. Who else? Some people said Martin McDonagh.
He got in for 3 billboards.
Yeah. Todd Field.
Inarritu.
Let's
not pretend.
I don't think Todd Field is a DGA pick.
Field is not DGA. Chazelle is DGA.
No.
I would say
Chazelle is DGA. Yeah.
Is the Daniels DGA and Miss Oscar?
No.
Honestly,
Are they like Taika?
Are they
like the Taika sort of pick where it's like
everything with that movie? I still find it to be on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't count out James Cameron either. That is a passion project that he has worked for years on, and everybody loves Avatar, so except Ryan. But that's okay. You can't love everything. You can't.
I think a lot of people don't like
What
Avatar.
about Baz Luhrmann? No, sorry.
What about Andrew Dominic?
Well, you just mentioned it, Nicole, but I mean Del Toro. If they wanted to go that route,
that would be wild.
I think that could be our 5th wild pick.
That would be wild.
Also, the Ruben Östlund, if Triangle of Sadness continues to play.
Yeah, but he's exactly the one that won't make it.
Yeah, he's like we'll see you next week.
Well, I don't know. If you look at its competition,
to be honest,
because they were afraid to not give it the win and what that would say about them. So maybe they're also over here if we don't nominate this person, does that mean that we can't take a joke?
The DGA does not care about what people think.
No, they don't care.
Really,
what about Sam Mendes?
No.
What about Sam Mendes for Empire of Light? Do we think?
It feels pretty out of reach now, but again, it's only October 2nd.
Yeah. Honestly, somebody that wouldn't shock me to show up is Kaczynski for Top Gun.
I could see it.
It could happen.
I mean, for DGA, I don't think he's getting the Oscar nomination, but
I would love DGA, a surprise Gina Prince Bythewood. That would be great. That would be just a fun.
I don't have that much faith in the DGA.
No,
I have more faith in her getting in than Kaczynski.
Honestly, Sarah Polley will be lucky to get nominated for DGA, and I think she's the best chance for a woman director this year.
I think she will be nominated because the movie will be a top
It's a
contender.
top 2
that I think
contender.
that will help her.
Yeah, it's a big. Yeah, it's the big. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Park Chan-wook, please.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of somebody who won't get in DGA, but has a
Yeah,
better
no, that's
Oscar,
definitely not happening.
good
Yeah,
Lord.
that should totally happen though over at Oscars over Ruben Ostlund. No.
Yep,
my
I
God.
think it
Thank you.
could
But you know,
very well
Edward
happen.
Berger could happen at DGA.
Hmm?
Yeah.
No, not at DGA.
You don't think so? It's a big old war movie.
No.
Like,
I mean,
No,
over
no,
Gina.
Yeah.
They nominate Pierre Fairley.
for greatest beer run
Oh
ever.
wait, greatest
That
beer
would
run. Let's go.
Hilarious.
They don't
no, for-
care about that the way that the director's
Yeah.
branch of the Academy
Hey.
does.
Ryan Johnson, Glass Onion. Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
That could be a fun DGA pick, actually.
By the way,
Yeah,
that's
good.
that question was from Scott, not from Ethan. This is from Ethan. What do you guys make of the week category that is best adapted screenplay? Dan kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. It's sad.
It's a graveyard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot. It's like 1 or 2 screenplays that everyone agrees are great, and a lot that a lot of people have problems with.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad because I have so many adapted screenplays that I like from this year,
And
Yeah.
they're
but they're
not gonna be
mostly
considered.
films that are like not going to be
Yeah.
Oscar considered.
No.
But this is where I think like Netflix could definitely get in too.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Glass
yeah.
Onion, White Noise, All
Yeah.
Quiet, Pinocchio. They've got a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
And
I do
feel like
think
they're
White
smart to push
Noise-
it.
I do feel like White Noise is absolutely happening because it has that unadaptable
Yeah, it has that
tag to the
Dune thing
book.
from last year, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like, how did they even get this thing filmed? Sort of
Right.
thing. Yeah.
How the hell did they make a film of Lolita?
Yeah.
Again, this is a category so bleak that there are people predicting Top Gun to get in.
yeah. And then
For real.
Who
People.
are these
I
people?
will not name names, but
People.
people are doing it.
people talk.
Listen, I say we put in women talking and then we just let Netflix have the rest of it,
I want
It
bones,
will be
I want bones and all.
including The Wonder.
Bones and All would be great. Bones and All would be
Yeah.
great. I really think that like if Sony Pictures Classics plays it right, Living could make a play here,
Mhm.
and that
Yeah.
gives more fire to Bill Nighy's
Well, I mean, the
campaign.
son's making a play.
Oh
So
yeah,
then-
I mean at this point,
Not-
like
I know.
I still have it in my 5th spot because like there are still
Previous
people
winner
who
and-
love that movie.
I dropped it down to 7, but yeah, maybe it's just my own personal absolute.
Yeah, I
guttural
still think that is in
hatred for it.
play.
Yeah, that's in play.
Yeah.
Do we
It's
think
in play. I mean, The Whale is
Yeah.
probably looking better here than The Sun,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
do we think
Yep.
that She Said could end up in play here?
I have it
Yeah.
at number 4?
Yeah.
That could happen.
yeah, I have it in my 10.
Just got to see how that plays out. When is that screen, Dan?
next week.
Next week? Okay.
Next week.
So-
Yeah, you're seeing it before me. I think I'm seeing it on the 14th or the.
I'm seeing it on the
16th.
13th.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, this is not going to happen. But you know what is actually my personal adapted screenplay winner at the moment? It's
What?
Marcel the Shell.
Aw.
No, that's A24 is going to make a push for that though.
They should. I
Oh.
really love that movie.
I know what Nicole and I would love to see here. The Northman.
Oh
Oh,
my God. Don't even do that to me. This category is one of the weirdest ones because it's so weak at the Oscars, and then he has the most difficult category in my personal awards.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Like-
I'd love to, and I don't care. I'd love to see the Batman in the race.
It would be a
'cause
Yeah.
worthy nominee, honestly.
It would.
Okay.
I knew I was going to
I'm
get that
still
reaction
waiting
from
to
Josh.
see Lady Chatterley's Lover.
But also too,
Like-
Avatar.
Oh, yes.
Avatar's in this.
Yeah.
Avatar
race-
does
Well,
too.
I mean, Avatar's not getting nominated for
No,
No,
I
but
feel
no,
like
but
James
they-
Cameron does
Why
not get
it's not?
screenplays nominated.
No, but what I'm
anyway.
saying is that it is such a weak
No.
year. You can consider.
It ain't that weak.
No.
I think
Titanic
Top
didn't
Gun
get
gets in
in.
At
before
lea-
that
hey,
does.
look,
'cause
for the
Yeah.
record,
No,
I
it's
just
not like
gave
it.
it the benefit of the doubt, and I just
I
one time gave it
understand,
the benefit of the
but the
doubt.
fact that we are being very dismissive, the
I
very
know.
pro Avatar group, and we're saying like that's not happening for screenplay,
Listen,
like that should tell you
the
something.
first Avatar is just Fern Gully. I can't imagine the
It
second one's going to
really
have a great script. Like,
Yeah.
If Avatar and Titanic can't get nominated for screenplay, he's never
Right?
getting a writing
Yeah.
nomination.
No.
Seeing crazy
Yeah.
things.
honestly, I'll be mad if he gets one now after not getting one for
Yeah.
Titanic.
I would scream.
Okay. This is from Kinsey. You don't know Kinsey. From films that have been released this year. Sorry to all my festival girlies, as she says. What are 3 noms in any category you would fight for, but are not likely to get in? She says, for me, every After Yang nomination.
3 nominees in any category.
Any, not every, any.
In any, right? In any. Yeah, I know.
Good Lord, we'd be here all night.
Then that's very, very easy. Okay, I'll make it very simple for you.
Okay.
RRR across the board.
All right, there we go.
Just everywhere. Best picture, director, actor, editing. Well,
it gets into the DGA.
Not costumes, but like
not costumes.
Not costumes.
All right.
Okay, I've got my 3.
We're gonna have the same.
And this is off the top of my head, so it will probably change within 20 minutes. But Emma Mackey for Best Actress for Emily.
Yes.
Yep. The Wonder for Best Costume Design.
Ooh.
Because I love those costumes. And production design while we're there. And then okay, I have my 2 and now I'm like, where am I going? I didn't want to do this, but I'm gonna say Paul Mescal for After Sun for Best Actor.
Okay.
I'm sorry to all quiet.
Erik, do you have 3?
Well, yes, I'm also picking
Paul Mescal.
Yeah.
Paul.
After Sun. I would.
His other one is Paul for Carmen. His third one is Paul for God's Creatures. Boom.
I am a full mescaline addict.
A mescalite, if you will.
A mescalite.
100%. I am all the way in. I would also put it in Best Picture because it's like my number 2 of the year.
Same.
I would. I want a place for Taylor Russell.
Well, there you go. Just say Taylor Russell.
I really do.
Just say it. Josh.
Well, keeping with the prompts that these were supposed to be movies not from festivals.
Thank you.
It's all right. I speak for the common man.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Sorry to Kinsey that I forgot
Hey,
that part.
RRR, baby.
Yeah,
that is true.
I did mention Marcel the Shell. I think that would actually be one that I would really love to see. For the original screenplay, the one that I really wish would stay in the conversation more is Benediction.
Oh God!
Yes.
I really love that.
What
one.
a movie!
And Jack Lowden, while we're at it,
yeah, he would be another one. But I think the final one that I'm actually going to officially say is Mia Goth and Pearl.
Nice.
Oh God,
Kenzie
yes!
will love that.
Yeah. Oh my God,
that
yes.
9-minute monologue.
Performance of the year.
I'm gonna throw in one so that I have one that is already released. Partially because Kenzie's the one who asked this, and for best editing, I would put in Elvis.
Oh yes, yes. That
Those
does stand a good. That does
Brought
stand
to you
a
by
chance,
Tylenol. You know what I mean?
Montage is
talk about
montage. It is the
No,
whole
it's
thing.
not.
Is
It's
one
brought to you
montage.
by cocaine.
No, see, again, I think it's like 5 montages like stitched together.
Yeah,
one
true.
for each period.
Yeah.
I would.
That stands a good chance of getting in, though. I really do think.
It's still, yeah.
I didn't follow the prompt. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, you breaking rules.
It's okay.
Not surprising.
We're being rebels.
Fire, Love, and Documentary.
Mm.
I really want that to happen. I love that movie. After Yang director Kogonada, what he does with that film is incredible. And while I'm at it, anything for Nope. I don't care if it's freaking sound design or if it's direction or
that score. I really want to be
score.
Nominated.
I'm just
Score is
anything
good.
for Nope. That movie is so good, and I rewatched it recently, and I loved it even more the second time. So yeah, that.
All right, I'm changing mine to Bro's original screenplay.
Yes, best original song.
Yeah,
and original song. Love is not love.
Has everybody seen Bros?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to. You haven't seen it yet?
Come on, Nicole. The movie needs your money badly.
Yeah, we need money now.
It's
This
for us.
weekend we've had a little hurricane.
Oh
season
yes,
here in
Oh,
North
that's
Carolina.
true.
Excuses.
I mean, hurricanes are very homophobic for sure.
They are.
Absolutely.
extremely homophobic. Rude. Okay, the Wolf Matt asks favorite horror movie performance ignored by the Oscars besides obviously Toni Collette in Hereditary and Lupita Nyong'o in Us.
Well, my answer for this has never changed. It will always be Anthony Perkins in Psycho.
Goddamn right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the
That is goddamn right.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any others? No.
Shelley Duvall in The Shining and Mia Farrow in Rosemary's Baby.
Yes.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. There you go.
Not original picks, but they will always be there because
They're undeniable for a reason.
deserve it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to count Rear Window as a horror movie?
I was gonna say, like, can we count Jimmy Stewart in Vertigo? Like,
I was gonna say Jimmy Stewart in Rear Window.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're just trying to get Jimmy Stewart some award.
There you go.
I mean, can we get Vincent Price an Oscar nomination for something, anything?
I think it's terrible when somebody gets a nomination for playing somebody who has never gotten a nomination themselves. That burns me.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Matt A wants to know any idea on what movies could possibly contend as a front runner in original score and original song. Yeah, Lady Gaga across the board. There you go.
I mean, pretty much.
There you go.
I mean,
Right,
there
yeah,
are
that's-
so many good scores this year. It's really hard to say what the front runner is right now.
And two of them by one person. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
Eldor's coming for those double noms.
Yes.
But like, really, I mean,
I don't think she really is, but
No. But she's
they're both
she's
really good.
yeah, they're both really good, especially
the
Tara.
only thing I will say, like, I will be shocked if John Williams doesn't get another fucking.
Oh no,
Oscar
he's
nomination for like.
probably
Yeah.
like it's
For
the slam
this.
dunkest pick. Yeah,
Yeah.
like John
Yeah.
Williams not getting in, that'd be like Roger Deakins not getting in.
Yeah.
And like,
no,
I don't think it's a great score, but like, I will be shocked if it doesn't get nominated.
Reznor
John
Ross.
Williams can sneeze into a tuba and they will give him an Oscar nomination.
Yep.
Like
He can nominate-
he is going to
That
get
is
it.
actually the Fableman score.
Yeah.
That's the Rise of Skywalker score there, Josh. That is correct.
No, The Rise of Skywalker was that not just bits from all the other Star Wars movies?
Yes.
put together?
Yeah,
That's what I
yes,
thought it
that's the Reznor and Ross. More likely for Empire
Please.
Light, but their Bones
Yeah.
and All score is
Also good.
Okay, but that Empire of
Amazing.
Light score.
It was
no, they're both great.
gorgeous.
They're both great. They give.
So good.
I mean, but I would go Bones and All more. That's-
I absolutely Bones and All is a more interesting one. Empire of Light doesn't even feel like them. It feels like them sort of making fun of a traditional like Oscar Beatty score. It's almost
I like there's some piano work in it that I really like.
Yeah, I just think that score is so pretty. And the
Mhm.
Bones and All score, like, it's good, but it's kind of like we've heard this generic guitar plucking in so many indie road
No,
movies.
it's-
Like,
Speaking of something that's not generic, what should be a front runner in score is All Quiet on the Western Front.
that's
oh my
what I've
god.
heard.
It's
wow.
everything. It's everything. The way that it simulates battle sounds. Oh,
The
yeah.
score is actually terrifying.
It's
the
so
score.
scary.
Michael Giacchino
Here
score
for it.
for the Batman should be
Great
Beautiful.
score.
That
It's
is
a good
really
score,
good. It
but-
is a
Great
good
score, beautiful score.
I don't know what he has to do to get another nomination though. The man has
Right?
literally not been nominated since Up.
Since Up, it's insane.
You know what I
agree.
think could end up a front runner in both score and song? Del Toro's Pinocchio.
That was my next.
Bardo and score.
Well,
That could
you
be
are all
something.
clearly forgetting about the cinematic event of the year.
Lyle.
Lyle Crocodile.
On top of the
Yes.
world tonight.
Weird Al for best song.
Mendes.
Weird Al for best song.
Go.
Weird. Is there an original song in Weird?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
But
is it
it
getting
doesn't,
a
Eric,
theatrical
it doesn't
release,
have a
though?
theatrical release.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
date.
Yeah.
I
And
thought they were doing one. Oh,
they have it now. It's going right to Roku on like November 4th.
Mm.
Boo.
Unless
Sad.
they do a 1 week ahead of
I say a
it.
name. I'm going to say a name and
They should.
score. Carter Burwell and the Banshees of Inisherin. That's somebody.
Yeah.
That is a really nice score too.
Wonderful.
I
Yeah.
love Rob Simonson's score for The Whale.
Yep.
Yes.
That's somebody
So
to keep
good.
an eye on. I really wish the score for The Menu. Who did the score for The Menu?
Oh, I've heard that that's really good too. God damn it.
Scollins Stinson. That's who it did it. Anyway, there are a lot of contenders. There's no clear.
I also just want to mention this because nobody's talking about it, which I get. And I'm not saying this is something that's going to win or become a front runner. It's not happening. But if this happens to get a nomination, I want people to just at least be prepared for it. You know, this next chapter in the Wonder Saga, that movie that had Jacob Tremblay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there's this new
the one
movie,
with Helen Mirren.
Yeah, where it's like a Nazi Holocaust story.
Yeah.
The reason I mention it, music by Thomas Newman.
No. Yeah.
I really thought you were going to say a song by Diane Warren.
Well, if I'm not mistaken,
she does have one this year, doesn't she?
Yeah,
Like
she
she
does
is
have
right
one.
somewhere.
She will be making the rounds. Diane Warren will.
And apparently Jay Ralph is coming back from the dead to haunt us again with something that might be out there too. So yeah.
And then there's also For Everything Everywhere All at Once, there's a David Byrne collaboration for that film as well.
Yep. Oh, and that's a great score too.
Yeah, and that's a great score. So
There's
a lot of good stuff.
Too, yeah.
Are we talking songs at all? Are we doing songs?
So I mean, we can do. I mean, briefly, if you want to talk about them.
I think RRR has a very good chance of getting.
I am feeling better about that by the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
And then Gaga. Are we thinking Gaga? Hold my hand.
I guess.
I mean, she'll probably be in.
Yeah.
Hold my hand. I'm hoping that I'm hoping the Bro song gets in.
Mm-hmm.
But I doubt it will.
That seems pretty unlikely. But yeah, definitely the Diane Warren song.
Yeah, whatever it is,
whatever it is for whatever movie it is.
Yep, doesn't matter. She gets in for movies that don't exist. She did that last year.
Yeah,
yep.
Reba.
I would, no lie, and I know that this is probably not going to happen, but I would love to see the "Don't Worry, Darling" song get in because it actually is used in the movie. No, but it's one of those things where it plays a role in the film, and we don't get songs that do that very often.
We went through this whole podcast.
Can you imagine for a moment an original song category that is Taylor Swift, Harry Styles, and Shawn Mendes?
Please,
I want the
Twitter would
talk about the ratings. Ratings exploding there. Come on, producers.
Yeah, because they'd all have
let
to
Harry
perform.
Styles host the Oscars, and he'll be like, "This is a movie, and it feels like a movie about every film."
This is a song from a movie.
It's giving movie.
It's giving.
That would be the tagline for their ceremony. Where the movies feel like movies.
That should be.
Yeah, the movies feel like movies.
Wait, you should be
so
charged
do
for
it.
that idea, Josh. That's so good.
All right. Next question comes for Jeffrey. Which of this year's acting contenders, who everyone assumes to be a lock, even though there's no such thing as lock right now, to be nominated all season long, and you can see them only getting in at Critics' Choice and nowhere else, like Ethan Hawke in First Reformed, or Robert De Niro in The Irishman, or Delroy Lindo in The Five Bloods? So basically, who's going to be the critics person that doesn't get in anywhere else? Kind of like Nick Cage, even for Pig last year too.
So who's going to be the one to say it?
You mean Ana Darmas?
No.
Michelle.
Well, wait,
Michelle Yeoh.
It's Michelle.
Michelle
You
Yeoh.
think is going to get everything and then miss the Oscars?
I think that is.
I think she will get critics.
No. The only thing that she gets is Critics' Choice.
Critics,
and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because she's going to win the Spirit. She's going to win the Gotham. No.
Oh, that's true. Right. She'll contend for Spirit.
That seems. But I don't want to say no because
Tom Cruise.
What the fuck do I know?
Critics' Choice would go for that.
I hope so.
They would go for that, and no one else takes the bait. You know what I mean?
No, the Globes will.
Yeah, Globes absolutely will.
They want
because they can't help themselves.
I want him to present Top Gun Maverick as the best picture, and they present him back his Golden Globe Awards. Let's have that happen.
I want him to be announced as their
3-time
winner.
Yes.
He has to take them all back. That'd be great. I don't know who's the person.
You know who's somebody that I could see maybe just because if you're thinking about Critics' Choice, they're in the mindset of who's in a lot of people's Oscar predictions, and then that doesn't happen later down the road. I could see them trying to hedge their bets and put both Judd Hirsch and Paul Dano into supporting actor, and then Dano just never happens.
I was just thinking Dano. That's a great choice.
Poor Paul Dano.
Yeah.
Actually, can I be honest? I'm you know what my biggest fear is? is that the person that this happens to is Danielle Deadweiler.
Mm. Yeah.
You don't
It
think
is
she
my-
might even get SAG or something?
Couldn't even get Globe.
Well, but that's the thing, because she is such an unknown quantity, but not an unknown quantity in the way that those awards bodies usually will reward.
Not in a bright young thing.
Yeah,
type
and
way.
she's not
Yeah.
even like an Olivia Colman who was, big across the pond but hadn't really broken through to movies yet. That is the thing that worries me the most about her candidacy. So in that way, it does feel like something that critics would try to make happen, but then she gets knocked out by starrier.
I don't know. After Andre Day won the Globe, I think anything can happen there.
Lady Gaga has also won a Golden Globe for acting, so
I mean, except deserved.
Maybe it's like something like Song Kang Ho
okay
for Broker. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like Song Kang Ho for Broker.
Maybe Tong Wei for Decision to Leave. That would be nice.
Yeah, where
Critics' Choice.
At Critics' Choice.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, didn't Song Kang Ho
6
get
spots?
nominated for Critics' Choice and then he didn't get
Parasite?
nominated for Parasite? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, but that was making the rounds as like this is a top 3 contender for Best Picture.
Yeah. I think Best Actress is too stuffed for a potential.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. Okay. 2 more. How much influence do you think the Golden Globes will have, since the show will be back on NBC in January? That's S2S asked that question. There'll be the Globes. That's all I got.
There'll be a moment to make a speech.
Yeah,
and that will always be helpful.
Those speeches help.
Yeah, I think.
And as we have seen, the actors have no compunctions about making a speech for the Globes.
Yeah.
I am very interested to see sort of how actors deal with that.
I still think it would have really helped Andrew Garfield last year if he had a speech at the Globes. If they had that last year.
I
don't think it would have. I don't think it would have I don't think it would have maybe affected in the long run, but I think it wouldn't have been like such a.
All it would have done is put him in third to second.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
It all depends on where the
way to slap down that idea.
The publicists and the studios fall. That's the only thing that matters.
They'll be there.
But clearly, it is now a televised show because they have enough backing to make it. They're not going to have a show and 0 people show up.
Yeah, I feel like the only reason why NBC would say yes to this is if they had assurances that people would show up.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. That the studios are going to come back and bring their talent.
Well, the studios want the Golden Globes no matter what. Like, it's advertising for their movie. They want it.
They want the Globes. They want the Globes probably more than like Critics' Choice and the other one.
Yeah.
And clearly also too, since SAG is not going to be televised at this point, that we have no idea who or what or when, where or why, or even a live stream option or anything. Nothing. So at this point, Globes is.
I know we will. I think there will be something, but it is crazy that the Globes have an announcement to be televised before SAG.
Yep. Last question from TV Fontaine. Who should the Oscar producers be convincing to host the show next year? They should be getting on this, shouldn't they?
Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Let's go.
That's Emmy winners, Chippendale.
Damn right.
Deserve it.
Damn right.
Oh my God.
Love that movie.
Shocked by how good that was.
I mean, the easy answer is Steve Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. It's right there. It's the biggest slam dunk. Just do it. It's not hard.
It's everything they need to.
If they can't get them, I say ask Tom and Zendaya to go.
That would have been great last year, though. That was there's no way to like really capitalize on.
Get Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but people are always obsessed.
Yeah, right. Get Tom Cruise to do it. Yeah.
Dune 2 is coming.
Get Tom Cruise.
Get the entire cast of Top Gun Maverick to host.
Yeah. Glenn Powell, please.
I want to see Miles
Jennifer
Teller.
Connelly.
I want to see
Miles my God.
throw that mustache back and do his little dancey dance. That's how we get the ratings up.
Oh my Lord.
I'm only half kidding, actually.
Uh-huh.
I will only sign off on that idea if they all are in the same attire as the football scene.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the only...
that'll work.
So see, we're gonna get
That is
them
the
to
requirement.
play beach volleyball at the Oscars so that we can fulfill that fantasy as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, also
on-
too. Lady Gaga. Just she
I
wants to
I
do
have
it.
said her. I have said her in the past, and like I feel like she's probably too big a star to be a viable option for that. But she has the exact right energy and the right fan base to like. Yeah, she
And it
would
would be
host a good
hilarious
show.
if she, got to host and win.
Yeah.
Okay, that's been the listener questions. We're gonna play a quick game real quick, and then we're gonna get out of here. And this game is new. I've never played this before. This game is called This Is Not 40. Okay, this is not 40. So the object of this game is for you to name one at a time, and we'll see how many you get right. We'll go round robin, basically, or not even round robin. We'll just go in around in a circle here. Of all the acting nominees that are currently under 40 right now in Hollywood, so they have to be nominated for an Oscar, and you give me the name of the person. Don't have to, if you want to give me the title of the film, you can go right on ahead and do that, but that is not necessary.
And they are currently under.
They are currently under 40 or under is the requirement.
So not 40 when they got the nomination. They are currently
not when
40
they got
right
it,
now.
what they are right now, currently at
Okay.
the time of recording. Okay.
Okay.
You'd be surprised how many there are. We will see if you guys
There's
can
gonna
get
be
through all of it. There are a lot, but not as many as you think. So we will go Nicole, Erik, Dan, and Josh. Okay. So Nicole, we'll start with you.
Timothy Chalamet.
That is correct.
I was gonna pick it first.
I figured you were.
Erik Anderson.
Florence Pugh.
Pew, pew.
Yeah, she was nominated for those
Pew,
Little
pew.
Women. There you go. Dan.
I'll go with her co-star Saoirse Ronan.
Sour Shoes Ronan.
We're
has
just
been
going
nominated.
through the cast of Little Women.
That was feckin' disrespectful.
Yes. Yeah.
Josh Parham.
Margot Robbie.
That is correct. Barbie herself. Let's go party. All right. Back to Nicole.
Vaughn Wallace.
That is correct.
Oh my God.
Erik Anderson.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Nice.
Yep. She fell down and everything. Dan.
Haley Steinfeld.
Nice.
She hit Matt Damon in the face in that movie, right? I wish.
Yeah, she
I
should have
love
won
that.
that year.
All right. Josh Parham.
Brie Larson.
Ooh,
Let me just check the notes about Brie
She is.
Larson.
What? She is not 40.
She absolutely is.
She is. Yeah. Just
not
double
Jessica
checking.
Tandy, for fuck's sake.
That's correct. Okay, Erik, be nice. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, I
It
have
is
one, but
Nicole.
I have one, but I'm so worried she's actually over 40.
No, I
What if she like is 40? What happens then?
If she is 40,
he
that
said
counts.
40 and under.
If
40
she's
and
40
under? Okay.
Yes. If she's
I'm
41.
gonna go for it then. I'm so afraid. Anna Paquin?
Anna Paquin is on the
Ooh.
list. She does count.
Mm.
I believe she is like right at it. I was looking at
I
this.
we've only done actors so far.
She
are
is
we
40,
stuck-
right on the dot. There, Nicole.
Are we
That was
stuck
so
to
risky. Yeah, wait, can we only do actors or can we do
other?
No, it's only actors.
okay.
Actors are actresses.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just acting.
Just actors and actresses. Calm down,
Yeah.
folks. Erik, it's your turn.
Oh,
Quit looking for things on the internet.
Yeah, Kristen Stewart.
That is correct. She gave one of the best performances of all time.
Who? I did not
Kristen
hear that.
Kristen
Kristen Stewart.
Stewart.
Oh yes, Kristen.
Someone tweeted that on the
Who would do
Twitter.
that? That's so hyperbolic.
Oh my
A
god.
loser.
Somebody desperate
Very
for
desperate.
attention.
Yeah.
Dan.
Um.
Did you say Dan was desperate for attention? That's
No, Chris, your tweet
rude. Sounded
was.
like you went right.
Dan
into
would
that.
never be desperate for attention.
So rude.
I'm sorry.
Fuck.
It's tough when you start thinking about it, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah. Because I keep thinking of people and they were like not actually nominated. Oh, Keisha Castle Hughes.
That is correct.
Good.
Josh Parham.
We didn't say Carey Mulligan, right?
Is that your answer?
Yeah, that's my answer.
Get those tickets ready at the train station for Carey Mulligan. She is still going to win. She has the path to win for Promising Young Women this year.
Wow.
Still.
Well, now she does. Now that Josh has mentioned her. So
Nicole.
Yes.
Yeah. Abigail Breslin.
Abigail Breslin. Little Miss Sunshine herself. That's correct. Erik.
Oh my God. I hope he must be Andrew Garfield.
That is correct.
He's like 38 or something.
Mr.
Yep.
Hacksaw Ridge.
One of my only celebrity crushes under the age of 40.
Dan Bear.
Daddy.
Daddy.
Stop. I can't do this on air.
So sorry.
Anne Hathaway.
That is correct. She dreamed a dream and she's still under 40.
She dreamed a dream of eternal youth.
Yep. Josh Parham.
Happening.
I don't think Scarlett Johansson is over 40. I'll say Scarlett Johansson.
That's correct. Scarlett
Okay.
Johansson is still under 40.
Ooh.
I think you were thinking of Colin Jost is over 40.
I was not thinking of Colin Jost.
It was a joke.
Nobody was.
Nicole Ackman.
I feel like we've said a lot of women.
Yeah, that's the pattern.
And
Yeah.
I know that I'm the one who's always like, the Academy hates young men, but I feel like there's got to be more.
Well, there's one I'm thinking of, but I don't know if he actually is under 40 or if he just looks so damn good.
Gosh.
I think it
Stop helping out, Nicole.
Wait, no, is Eddie Redmayne still under 40?
That is correct. Eddie Redmayne is still under 40.
Oh, wow. I thought he was over 40.
Yep.
Not with that Victorian boy doll skin.
All right. Erik, your turn.
Oh, he better be under 40. He has to be Riz Ahmed.
That is correct. Academy Award winner. Now, Riz Ahmed also.
Oh, yes.
That was exactly who I was thinking of.
Sound of
Yes.
Metal.
Yeah, I knew it was you. You said that. I got
Blu-ray
triggered.
right now.
No. I'm
You're
like,
welcome.
Dan Bear.
Oh my God.
Gabourey Sidibe.
That is correct.
Ooh.
Precious. Based on the novel Push. Sapphire.
By Sapphire.
I miss his
Josh
down.
Parham. Stop. Be nice.
Naomi Harris?
Fortunately, no. Naomi
No,
Harris is
no.
not.
Well, black don't crack, so I'm glad to at least go out on that.
So Naomi Harris is 46. She's 46. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, I'm actually not ashamed. If I have to go out,
Yeah.
I will go out on guessing that Naomi Harris was under 40. So I look good.
She
Mhm.
it was a surprise to me earlier today as well, Josh.
Oh.
Nicole Ackman.
Okay. This is another one where I'm not sure how old she is, so I'm maybe taking a risk here. Ruth Negga?
Ruth Negga is not, unfortunately, under 40.
Oh, damn.
See,
How old is she?
once again, this is looking very good for black people. I'm gonna say.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. She is 40.
Okay.
She is 40.
Oh.
Never mind. Sorry. I
Not
don't
Still
know
looking
why.
good.
Have
Still
I
looking
hit
good.
two different people who are exactly 40? That's so good.
I am sorry to Ruth Negga. I apologize. She is still 40.
Okay.
Erik?
Lady Gaga.
Yep. In the Shallow.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
Still under 40. Dan Bear.
Lucas Hedges.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Lucas Hedges.
Beautiful.
Beautiful boy. No.
Ben is back. No, that's what.
Yeah. Ben, oh, Josh, did you not know that Ben is back?
Really?
And he's a beautiful boy.
Could have fooled me.
No.
No, you're thinking
Somebody tell
beautiful
Julia,
boy
Ben
is not
is back.
him, Erik. Boy erased is him.
Mm-hmm.
Getting them all mixed up.
Yeah, really, we can erase that boy.
Yeah, we can. Nicole Ackman.
Andra Day?
Andra Day is correct.
Damn it.
Erik, your turn now. After that.
Yalitza Aparicio.
Yep. She is nominated and under 40.
Wow.
She's 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a child.
Mm-hmm. Well, be nice.
Oh my God.
Dan, it's you.
Oh.
You just
Keira
said
Knightley.
one. Keira Knightley is correct. No imitating that pick.
Oh God.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
No, stop.
Nothing to atone for that joke. Nicole.
All right. I've got nothing, so I'm gonna go out on this because I have no idea how old this man is. How old is Benedict Cumberbatch?
Benedict Cumberbatch is that is a good one.
Is he over 40?
He is 46 years old.
Okay.
You never can tell with the Brits, though.
With this Brits, you never know.
You never know.
He's like
So,
46 for the past.
This is
2
down to
decades.
Erik and Dan. All right. Erik.
Oh my God. Everyone's gonna be hovering like in like the late 30s now. I feel it. I'm forgetting like child actors or whatever. Felicity Jones.
Jones. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Now she's under 40.
Yeah, I know that's actually a pretty safe one.
Her co-star in The Theory of Everything was also mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dan Bayer.
Haley Joel Osment.
That is correct. He sees dead people, and he's also under 40. Erik Anderson, back to you.
Emma Stone.
Correct. That's correct. She is.
Oh my God, I'm so scared.
I think she's 33.
Yeah, she's pretty
She's a child.
safe. Oh, this is
Dan Bayer.
Elliot Page.
That is correct.
Nice.
Erik Anderson.
Daniel Kaluuya.
That is correct.
Oh.
And he was a nominee because his mom and dad had sex. Dan Bayer.
Well, I'm just gonna say Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah,
That's correct.
Yeah.
We still don't know who the lead of that movie is. Racism. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is lead.
Yep. All right. Back to you, Erik.
God.
This feels like it's going to be in poor taste, but it's not intended to be.
Here we go.
Chadwick Boseman.
He was 43 when he
Was he?
Yes. Chadwick Boseman
was shockingly very much older
Holy
than we
crap.
thought.
Yeah, I know.
At the time of his nomination, of his passing, he was 43.
Yeah, so he was in his 40s when he was making
Black
those
Panther.
later
I
end
did not
movies.
even wow. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I know.
I looked it up as well too, Erik.
A number that we have not thought of yet.
Dan Bayer.
Yeah.
Well, he already kind of wins by default.
No, he has to pick one more. Otherwise, it goes back to you.
Pick Anthony Hopkins.
The Oscar sure did.
Oh.
That's mean.
It's Armageddon time. You got
I'm gonna
this.
start looking some ages up because there's one that's like on my
I have the list in front of me. I will read them off.
Oh, damn it.
You don't get to look
What are you
up,
looking
Eric.
up for? It's not over yet.
I'm done.
No, if he doesn't answer, we still keep going.
Oh, okay. I only looked one, then I won't use it. It's all right. I thought it was out.
Dan, do you have a name?
Oh, Lupita Nyong'o.
That is correct, and Dan wins.
Well
So
done.
the other
Who did you
names
think
that-
of, Erik?
I cannot believe I pulled that out my ass at the last.
I look up Steven Yeun.
Stephen
Oh,
Yeun
no.
is correct as
See,
well.
he would have been one I wasn't sure about.
Okay,
It was,
so I will.
him and Riz Ahmed were like my.
I
Yeah.
will read the other names quickly. Jesse Eisenberg, the social network.
Oh,
Adam Driver.
I thought he was 41.
I did too.
How old is he?
I thought he was over 40.
off
also.
my list.
yeah.
Adam Driver.
I very
Everybody.
purposely did not say Adam Driver. He's 38. Oh my God. Okay.
Wow. He's
Him-
my age. Ah.
Wait, how are him and Andrew Garfield the same age? That doesn't compute. Okay.
Yeah. Ask the birds, I guess.
I like 38-year-olds.
Rooney Mara.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cynthia
Dan
Erivo.
and I try to block her.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, Cynthia. Mm.
Cynthia Erivo. Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah.
Mm.
Everyone's
Oh,
favorite actress
and
from
I-
2020
Yeah,
because she
you.
didn't win
And
anything.
I ran her campaign.
The only one that lost. The only one that didn't win.
Yeah.
Anna
She
Kendrick.
won in my heart.
Oh yeah, Anna Kendrick.
That's
Oh.
right. She's a person.
Yep.
Alicia
Who
Vikander.
has an Oscar nom? Oh yeah.
I thought of Alicia Vikander after I was out. Yeah.
I
Amanda
never-
Seyfried.
Oh yeah,
Amanda
that did
Seyfried?
happen.
Oh my God.
Wait,
Maria
what was she
Bachl-
nominated for?
For
Mank.
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 Oh my God. I
Which
blocked
ironically,
that
she's the
out.
best performer in that movie.
Yes.
By far.
Maria Baklova.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is just going to be embarrassing.
Block
Your
that one
winner-
out.
That is.
Your winner from last year, Ariana DeBose, for Best
Yeah.
Supporting Actress.
That is embarrassing that I
And
did
that was
not
that
think
was
of
just
that.
dumb of me.
Should have just
Yeah.
worked ourselves backwards. I don't
Jesse
know.
Buckley.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Jonah Hill.
Oh,
Mm.
Dev
didn't need to be
Patel.
reminded of that.
Oh
Oh yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
I knew Josh.
It's
I was
okay.
in there.
About that.
I was waiting for
missing
Josh
Dev
to saying
Patel.
it.
Josh
Oh,
missing Dev Patel
All
and
right.
me missing Adam Driver are the same.
All right.
thing.
I think
And
that
me
means
missing
I'm
Ariana
outwatched then.
DeBose.
Barkhad Abdi.
Oh my God. He's still.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
wow.
I thought he was over 40.
Yeah.
I thought he was when he made it.
Cody Smith McPhee.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Well-
I was. Yeah.
And of course, everyone's favorite couple, Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons.
Oh, right. Because they're like 38, 39, right?
No, she's like
Or she is
40,
She's like a
40,
couple
and
years
he's
older than
just
34.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Well,
We stand. We
So that
stand.
was. This is not 40. We might play another version or two of this game.
We gotta
next
do the
couple
old
weeks?
side now.
We could do the non-actors.
Yep,
No.
that too. Yeah.
Though if we did the older
No
side, it would
way.
literally be the opposite of what we were doing here, where we would just
True.
be naming dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just dudes. All right. That's going to be this week's episode of the Awards Watch Podcast. Erik Anderson, tell everybody where they can find you and your stuff on the internet.
Hopefully at awardswatch.com.
God, I hope so.
You're here.
I
Yes.
mean, you're here.
Let's start there. And
Do it.
stay off of my Twitter. It's terrible.
It's bad. It's like the plague.
It's fantastic.
It's like a hurricane going through America. You know what I mean?
Wow. Too soon.
Just saying.
hurricane.
It's a lot. I don't know if many can handle it. Nicole Ackman, where can we find you in your work on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Nicole Ackman 16, and you can find my work on Awards Watch and over at Oscar Central.
Follow Nicole. She's got a lot of good stuff coming up. Dan Bayer.
Yes. You can find me on Twitter at Dancing Dan on Film. You can find reviews at Awards Watch and Next Best Picture.
And last, but certainly not least, the wise Josh Parham. Where can we find you, buddy?
You can find me on Twitter at JR Parham, and you can find a lot of my work over on Next Best Picture.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Letterboxd at Ryan McQuade 77. You can find my stuff here on this website, awardswatch.com, In Session Film, the playlist, Film Speak, basically anywhere that somebody has a podcast playing. I'm usually probably there too. Next week, we are gonna talk a little probably more about NYFF, maybe some more Oscar stuff, play some more games. Got some listener questions. Maybe do some Halloween stuff since that's around the corner. Spooky stuff. So, till then, we'll see you all next time.